Hey guys, I just wanted to drop in. This is future as me, so this is post recording the episode, post rewatching the episode. So I wanted to let you guys know that I figured out a few things and I wanted to address a few things before you actually start the real first episode. First of all, I figured out what I want to name it. I want to call it Grxycode. I feel like that name was there all along and I was completely missing it. I think it's super cute. It's like gay code, girl code, guy code, gray code. So I'm stoked about that, stoked I figured it out, stoked that it's original, and that's what I'm gonna be naming the very first episode instead of After Hours or whatever. So it'll have its original name from the get-go instead of me having to change it down the road. Secondly, I genuinely thought about not posting what you guys are about to see. I thought about kind of using it as like a test or a pilot. I thought about a lot of things. I thought about posting it along with another episode at the same time. And that's because I struggle so much with trying to constantly perfect everything. I've been like this since I was a kid. If it's not perfect, if it's not exactly what I want, I have a really hard time allowing that to be seen. So I'm trying to step away from that because I feel like I am never going to grow in authenticity. I'm never going to grow in like the craft that I create, in the content that I make, unless I force myself to do things that are uncomfortable. So posting this, what you're about to see, is a little bit uncomfortable for me because it's not perfect. The lighting's bad. The audio quality is like, it's good coming from the mic, but the mic shifts around sometimes because it's attached to my clothing, so I'd like to get like a stand-alone mic eventually. It's super gray, like my bedding is gray and black, so it's super gray. There's not cool lights, there's not decorations in the background. It is not something I would normally ever put out looking the way that it does. But I think it'll be a really cool starting point to see where I grow from there, and I want you guys to see that. I want you guys to see how I build from literally the ground up. So I'm gonna put it out. I am horribly self-aware that it is not great as far as like entertainment goes. I need to get better at storytelling. I need to get better at being able to like just keep on talking. Even though I'm by myself, it's really difficult, and it'll be easier when I do have people on, but sometimes I pause a little long to think, sometimes I forget details of a story, sometimes I just lose track of like what I'm thinking, and the whole point was to not cut that stuff out. So I'm gonna just try to improve on that rather than like not letting you guys see it at all. But it will get better with time, so I'm really excited to actually be taking the step to let you guys see it. And as far as the frequency that I'm gonna post now with that, I'm debating between once a week or once every 2 weeks. I don't really know yet, and I don't know what day I'm gonna post. Today is Tuesday, about to turn Wednesday. I'm probably just gonna post the whole thing together today, but I don't know if I'm always gonna post on Wednesdays. I wanted to post on Fridays, I think, but I really don't know. My schedule is like constantly changing, so I'll see where it goes. But there will be another episode out very soon, probably within a week or so. So I hope you guys enjoy what you do see. Like, I do tell a few stories, and I address the reasons why I am even starting the podcast and like what the future of the channel looks like. So I hope you guys enjoy regardless, but trust me, I know some of it is a little hard to sit through. Definitely would turn this on if you're like cleaning or if you're busy doing something else. Don't sit and watch it. It's not a video worth giving your full attention to. But thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. What's up, guys? New format. I decided that I actually kind of fucking hate making the YouTube videos that I was making. The like 2 that I posted. The very first one where I came back, I really liked that one just because it was a reaction to my old self. But what did I post after that? The fucking, what is it called? Smash or Pass? And the interview with my cat. And it's because for a lot of those things, people on YouTube oftentimes will have like somebody behind the scenes that prepares the material for them, or that is like, I don't know, getting all the stuff ready just to make it easier, and I do everything myself. So for like the Smasher Pass, I was like horribly unprepared for the amount of information I was gonna need while I was editing the video to input the photos of every character, the name, since I didn't know all the names, and just like, it was a disaster, is what I'm trying to say. And it took forever. And then the interview with my cat, same kind of thing. It was just like really unpredictable, and I should have had kind of like a script prepared, I guess, because obviously my cat doesn't actually fucking talk, so I should have had a script for what he was saying in the video. And I didn't, because when him and I talk, when I'm like home by myself, I say a lot of funny shit in response to like the meows that he gives me. And so I was like, oh, I could totally just like do this on a video off the dome and just like clip what I like. But he was being horrible, he was being mean, he didn't like the microphone. And again, just like kind of a huge disaster. So I'm still going to be making YouTube videos. Let me just clarify that. But from now on, what I'm going to be posting consistently on this channel is this. Not my bedroom, not my bed, but a sort of podcast kind of thing. Eventually, I'm hoping to have it on a podcast platform like Spotify and Apple. I'm going to look into how to do that, but for now, it's just going to be on YouTube. It's going to be a lot more long form and a lot more raw and unedited, because as much as I can make myself look funny if I edit a video and add in a bunch of memes and sound effects, I feel like the best way to get to know me is to see me raw and unedited. So for the most part, this video from start to finish is gonna be unedited. There might be things here and there depending on how things go. Like if my cat, for example, right now is doing something evil in the other room and I have to go check on him, I might clip that out. But other than that, like, I'm not going to be editing myself to the degree that I was for the YouTube videos. Holy fuck, I can yap. And you see, this is like the side of me that you guys don't get to see, because the YouTube videos, I'm always like, oh my god, I was talking way too long, I need to clip that. Oh my god, I was pausing way too long, I need to clip out like everywhere that I pause, I need to clip out all my breaths. And I just, when I got back into YouTube, the whole point was to be myself, and I feel like I started to veer off that track already again. So I would like you guys to actually get to know me and how I actually act. And with that being said, I'm gonna check and make sure that my camera is actually recording. So I might clip this part out when I'm sitting back in the bed. Alright, so we were rolling. We've been rolling this whole time, thank God, because I've been yapping for like fucking, I don't even know how long. That was another thing, I was supposed to start a timer. Okay, see, this is the raw, unedited as me that you guys don't get to see. The ADHD, the unorganization, the unpreparedness, and I feel like that's a pretty big aspect of my life. So let me look up a timer on here and we'll set it for an hour-ish, or I'll set it for like 45 minutes. What the fuck is this? Please, please help. Not 4 hours. Okay. Okay, I set a timer for 45 minutes because I've probably been talking for like 10 already. Genuinely, I have no concept of time. So let's get into what the hell I'm gonna be doing with this podcast sort of thing. As of right now, it doesn't have a name, I guess. I was like workshopping some ideas for names over the past few weeks. I guess I'll tell you some of the ones that I thought about naming it. The first one that I came up with was I Think, Therefore I Podcast, which I think is cute. The acronym or whatever for it would be I Think, Therefore I Podcast. I think that ITTIP, which I thought was cute, kind of, like, because it kind of rhymes. And then Another one was gonna be something about overthinking, or like, I don't know, something along the lines of like thoughts. Obviously, I think a lot, and I was always really into philosophy, especially in college. So that's why I'm sorry, I'm really sorry if I'm hitting the mic. That's why I think, therefore I podcast. I thought it would be cool because it's kind of quirky and nerdy, and it ties in that aspect of philosophy that I really like. But I also felt like that was maybe taking it a little too serious, because I'm not expecting this podcast to be like super philosophical or like super serious in nature. So I was like, maybe not, maybe that's a little bit too much. So then I started trying to think of ones that were a little bit more like pop culture-y, and I was gonna name it, I had kind of settled on the name After Hours with Asmi, and I really like that. I think it has a nice ring to it. But there's like at least 3 podcasts that I found that were called After Hours. A lot of them aren't currently posting, and they haven't posted since like 2021, so I'm sure it's like fair game. But I guess I'm not a big fan of like, I don't mind like not being super duper original, but if there's 3 podcasts already named that, I was like, maybe I should try to brainstorm a little bit more. So for now, I guess I'll call it After Hours with Asmi. I'll probably title it that. But I may change the name of it by the 2nd episode or the 3rd episode or somewhere along the lines. Or maybe it'll stick and I'll just end up going with it. But, okay. So starting a podcast, because I actually do like to yap, which you guys may not know about me. Also, when I record YouTube videos, it's strange. I get so nervous, even though I'm all by myself. I have full control and access to what's going to be posted, what's going to be edited. Like, it's all me. But for some reason, I have such a hard time putting myself, like, not even putting myself out there. It's specifically like something about being recorded on a video, because when I go live on TikTok or if I go live on Instagram, I guess it's because I know that I'm kind of speaking into the void, and people, or maybe it's like the idea that people are actually there listening to what I'm saying rather than me just being alone with a camera. I don't know. Something about like recording yourself all alone in your bedroom is very difficult for me. Cause I never really I used to get a little nervous when I would do like streaming on Twitch when I would play games. But there's just like a different element to recording a video all by yourself that makes me like freeze up. It makes me go nonverbal. So I'd be editing out chunks and chunks and chunks of fucking time of me just sitting in silence. Like, I would have to cut through 2 or 3 hours of footage for a 10 or 20 minute video. And so it was getting like very draining and very annoying to feel like I just wasn't capturing myself. So this way, I am kind of just forcing myself to put myself out there, I guess. It's literally like what all the big creators say, you have to just like get out there. Like, if you were a stand-up comedian, the only way to practice doing stand-up comedy is to fucking do stand-up comedy. So to be raw and to try to be entertaining without having to edit myself a whole lot, I just have to fucking do it. So here's me doing that. Oh, Jesus. What a mouthful. I was honestly scared that once I started recording, I wasn't going to be able to articulate myself very well, but I think once I get yapping, I don't really stop. So we talked about why I'm doing this. I think I mentioned I'm still going to be doing YouTube videos, but I want to focus more on skits. I think I want to focus on skits and also capturing myself, like I had mentioned in the Smasher Pass, of doing things like recording myself going to the gym and like talking, or recording myself doing an errand or something, just kind of like capturing myself out in the wild, because I genuinely, like, it's hard to tell somebody, like, no, trust me, I'm really funny. You just have to see it. It just has to be the right environment. It's like, okay, dude, like, sure. But I swear to God, like, when I'm with my friends, or when I'm with my boyfriend, or even when I'm with, like, my family, and we're doing stuff, like, I think I'm really funny. It's just not being captured properly. So, this is going to be my main focus as far as this channel goes, but I'm still going to be posting other things, like the skits, like I want to do, and other stuff like that. It'll just be, like, not as frequent. Let me look at my notes app. That was another name that I thought about, was calling it, like, the notes app, because I'm always on my fucking notes app brainstorming for stuff. And then I think that was the whole intro. I know I should have wrote it down, because I wrote down, oh, I was gonna talk about my hair. I wrote down intro to the podcast, what's up guys, it's After Hours with Asmi. And then I was gonna mention, like, in the last video I said my hair was gonna be different, and I know myself so fucking well, it is different. It's, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's purple in, like, some sections, where everywhere that it was blonde, it's now purple. But it's temporary, so it'll be different probably again the next time you guys see me. And I guess one last thing is, as far as the structure of this quote-unquote podcast, also, that was another name I was gonna call it, was quote-unquote, which that one is kind of cool too. I don't fucking know, like, we'll figure it out. But I was gonna mention, I don't know if I'll always be sitting in my bed. I might not. I thought it was kind of funny, the whole, like, after hours aspect, because it's like, it's nighttime, I'm in my bed, we're just chatting, like, we're pals, like, we're doing a little kiki, we're having a little sleepover, a little slumber party. Maybe I'll name it something like that. Slumber party? Or, like, I thought about pillow talk, but it's not like it's not like that kind of talk, you know? I don't know. But I might be in my bed, I might not. If I do decide to record in my bed again, I will definitely have something more entertaining up on the walls in this corner. I should have more decorations in my room already, but guys, I've only lived at this apartment for 8 or 9 months. Like, give me a chance, give a girl a chance. Like, Jesus Christ, I can only move so fast. Yeah, I kind of gave up on decorating my room. I was supposed to have these big trees, these light up trees that I was gonna get off Amazon, and it was supposed to be like a whole foresty, like, fairy theme. And then I started buying stuff, and I was like, this is really expensive. And then I bought green curtains, and I tried to put up the green curtains, but the hooks didn't work, and then my cat started attacking the curtains, and they kept falling, and I was like, honestly, fuck all this. So, depending on whether I stay at this apartment, I will make it look nicer. And then I guess, if you guys haven't already turned this off, I'm gonna be, like, actually talking about some topics on this very first episode. Did the timer stop? That's so fucked up. I actually don't know how long it's been stopped. What the hell? Okay, it's running again. I don't know what I did. Is it because I changed tabs? Hello? Maybe I accidentally clicked to stop it. No? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm just gonna go through the topics. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but maybe worst case scenario, I, like, make it 2 parts. I don't think it'll take that long. Okay. On the podcast, I'm not always going to be by myself, by the way. I think one-person podcasts can get kind of, like, awkward and unentertaining. Fago, can you stop eating my shoelaces? Like, right now, I'm gonna have to clip this. As I was saying, this podcast isn't always going to be just me. I think one-person podcasts are kind of boring sometimes, depending on the person. And I would hate for you guys to get tired of hearing just me. So I'm hoping I'm gonna have some guests on, probably just starting with like friends and family. Hello, can I help you? See, this is what I'm talking about. You didn't want to be in the YouTube video that was all about you, but you want to be in the YouTube video that has nothing to do with you. Anyways, ouch. So guests coming soon, hopefully. But until then, we're just gonna be riding solo. Ow! You're being really rude lately. You stink. You really stink. Okay, okay. You're hurting me, please. Get out of here. Okay. Please, dude. Stop. Why are you being rude? You're making me nervous. You're making me anxious. Please, get out of here. People don't want to see 5 minutes of you biting my arm. Get down. Go. Anyways. So, for today, I had a few topics I wanted to talk about, and I thought of these because when I'm at work, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I personally like when the podcasters I listen to talk about jobs they used to work and their experiences, because I think there's something very special about working in like the food industry and the collective experience that everybody has and can relate to, and how funny it is when you look back on how fucking crazy people are when you work those jobs. It's just an experience like no other, truly. So I really relate to when they talk about stuff like that. So I was going to talk about my first jobs and a few other like first experiences I had, because those are the things that I like to listen to. So hopefully you guys like them too. Starting with my first job experience. So my very first job was Chipotle, and I don't think I can get in trouble for talking about it anymore, right? It was like 10 years ago. How old am I? This was like 10 years ago. I'm old as hell. Okay, so the starting pay back then was really good. It was $10, which a lot of people my age at like 15, 16 were making like $8 working at the mall and shit. So I was making 10, so I was really excited. But some of the not so great things were, one, the customers, especially at my Chipotle location, were fucking insane. And I don't know if maybe that's just Chipotle in general, but my Chipotle was one of the fucking busiest Chipotles like in the city. It had to be, because from the time I got there to the time I would leave, there would be a line to the door. And so at my youthful age, I'm getting this experience of the worst people I've ever met in my life. And I'm trying to gather my thoughts. Like, one lady in particular, she would come in and get a veggie bowl, which is fine. But her specifications were, I want the black bean juice, but no black beans. Now, I don't know if you guys know anything about Chipotle, but there's no separation between the black beans and the juice. There's not a separate section for that. That's not an option. And we don't have a special spoon for that either. The black beans are in the tub. Sometimes they don't even have juice. Sometimes it's like a thick kind of like a fucking bean consistency, you know? It's not like a soup. It's not a liquidy liquid enough to pull out just the juice. She wanted her bowl made only with the juice from the black beans, which is like already in itself fucking insane. But whatever, I'm 15, 16, and I have $10 in my pocket and a dream. So I'm like, okay, to the best of my ability, because mind you, the spoon for the black beans has holes in it because most people don't want a bunch of fucking bean liquid in their bowl. So I have to go find a spoon that has no holes in it, specifically for her. And I'm like turning this bean container on its side, trying to get the tiniest amount of liquid to come pool over to the corner so that I can take my fucking holeless spoon and scoop it and get the juice and pour it onto her bowl. And in this process, like one or two beans gets onto the spoon, and when I pour it on, it gets on her bowl. And I look at her, and she looks at me, and I look at her, and she looks at me, and I'm like, is that okay? Because I'm honestly terrified. I'm like, is that okay? Like, are we gonna be good? Can I proceed with your bowl, or do you want me to pick off the one or two beans that has now gotten on here? And she was like, it's fine. So I move on, right? Put the rest of her stuff on. She waits until I finish her entire bowl and then goes, I said I didn't want black beans. And I was like, and I asked you 4 steps ago if it was okay. And you said it was. And so she made me remake her bowl and asked for the same thing. And like, it's stuff like that that really makes or breaks you as a person. And I think it's the reason that I genuinely like cannot stand people to this day. I'm also realizing that chatting for this amount of time is like really exhausting. And I'm like not allowed to pause, and there's nobody here to like take over when I'm not talking. So it's fine. Like if I had somebody here, we could have been chatting back and forth about this Chipotle experience, but no, I just have to carry my weight all by myself. And then another first job that I had was Journeys, which is a shoe store. I'm pretty sure that's like a worldwide chain. I don't know why I'm explaining it like it's a Texas only thing. But Journeys, the shoe store in the mall, that was my second job because I worked at Chipotle and then I worked at Journeys and I went back to Chipotle. Because the $10 back then was really something. But at Journeys I was making minimum wage plus commission. But get this. Get this. We work at a shoe store, right? Guess what you don't get commission on? Yeah. The shoes. So you get commission on the backpacks or the socks or like all the stuff that nobody buys, you know? Didn't know that at the time of being hired. They conveniently don't mention that. They make it sound like you're gonna be balling selling these $90, $100 shoes, making commission off of them. I don't remember the percentage of commission, but thinking that I was going to be making commission off my sales because I'm selling shoes, I was really excited and then found that out. But aside from like all the insane shit that they do to force you to buy shoes, I was being groomed by one of the managers. And he was trying at least. So they scheduled me to close with this grown-ass man. I, again, at this time am 16. I'm closing alone at night with this grown-ass man. Don't know how old he was, probably mid to late 20s. We're not in the front of the store either. Not where I could maybe holler at a security guard to be like, hey, like, help. No, we're in the back of the store, where they keep the inventory of all the shoes. It's like stacked up to the ceiling, just full of boxes and boxes of shoes. So, you know, where no one can hear my screams type of thing. Yeah, so I'm back there with this guy. And I had a boyfriend at the time, a boyfriend that was my age. And I had mentioned this to this guy because he's trying to chat me up. I'm like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. Like, fuck off, I have a boyfriend. And I'm also 16. hoping that any one of those facts would maybe deter him. But no, he persisted. He just said like really weird things to me. He was standing way too close to me. He was like flirting with me. He was trying to talk to me about memes and trying to be like, I don't know. I don't even. Thinking about me being my grown ass age, which is probably the age he was, trying to like flirt with a 16-year-old. Not only a 16-year-old, but a 16-year-old that I work with, that I'm alone with. Like, it was just a horrible situation. Why the fuck was I alone? Why was that allowed? So I quit like very shortly after that. And thank God, have never had to see or hear from that guy ever again. I honestly, after that night, I don't think I saw him working again. And then I quit. So that was cool and fun and sick. Thank God nothing happened. Like, I went home in one piece, alive and well, but it could have been bad. What else do I have here? I have a few more stories. I'm probably gonna, let's see how we're doing on time. Did I just pause it again? Why is this randomly pausing? Does it pause when I click it? I don't know how long we've been going for. I'm hoping this isn't horribly unentertaining or like just seeing me raw, unedited. I'm hoping that it's not really hard to watch. I'm trying. If we could pretend it's like a live stream, guys. So if I pause like a little too long, the whole point is to not cut it out. So I'm not gonna cut it out, but you guys are just gonna have to sit through it, I guess. It would be different if somebody else was here talking to me, I swear to God. Like, please. I was really excited to do this, I'm hoping. And, like, guys, I'll get better. This is my first episode. Like, I'm new. I just started working here, please. I also have a really hard time looking at the camera. I tend to lose my train of thought. When I thought about recording this, I was gonna lay down, and I bet I look like I'm hunched over and shit. Also, I'm in my pajamas. That was another thing I was gonna mention. I'm in my pajamas because I'm literally going to sleep after this. I'm gonna take off my makeup and I'm going to bed because I have work. I should be sleeping right now, to be honest, but I'll give it another good 20 minutes or so. Tell you guys another story or two. But yeah, I was gonna lay down and like stare at the ceiling because I thought it would make my thought process go a lot better. Should we try it out, guys? Just like, why not, right? Yeah, I'm gonna try. Nobody look at my toes, even though they look really cute. I painted them and I put stars on them, but no free feet. I'm gonna censor them if they're showing in the frame. Let me decide what topic I'm gonna do first. La-di-da-di-da. Some of these I'll probably save. Some of these are really good, so I'll probably save them for like another episode. How about... I just wrote down this funny thing that says sometimes you're so pissed off after a long day that having a ghost like doesn't even scare you. They're just annoying as fuck. Like, why are you slamming cabinets? Why the fuck are you making so much noise? Like, why are you not paying rent? Like, get out. Because I genuinely have felt like that. There's some days where I'm so pissed off that I'll hear like a noise and I'm like, hell no. Fuck that. Honestly, like, fuck you. I don't give a fuck if you're a ghost. You can literally die again. Anyway. What if I just, like stemmed, like autistic stemmed, made a bunch of noise for the rest of the episode? How would you guys feel about that? I'm having a hard time picking which one I should tell, and I'm sleepy, and I'm tired, How about, do you guys want to hear? None of these are like super long. That's why I'm having a hard time. How about, I'll tell you guys this one. Okay. This is a story. I wonder how inconsistent my microphone audio is. And I'm also, another thing, I'm gonna get a microphone for the podcast, an actual microphone. And another, oh yeah, this is nice, guys. This is nice. Another thing, I'm going to get a camera. I'm still recording on my phone. That's why I am like everybody else. I'm attached at the hip to my fucking phone. My whole life is on my phone. I don't know how to function without it. I feel like my stream of consciousness is attached to my phone, so when it's not in front of me, I feel like I literally can't remember anything. I can't think. So when I record using my phone, obviously it's like over there recording, and I have my laptop, but it's not synced to anything. This laptop's 900 million years old. It's literally like 40 pounds. It's so heavy. It's so old. It can't process anything. So I don't even fucking try to sync it with my phone because it would not be able to handle it. So I am raw dogging trying to have a thought without my phone. And of course, there's gonna be some like little bit, just a little bit of trouble adjusting. But all that will be better when I get a camera, so I'll be able to have my phone with me while I'm recording, and then I'll be able to think. Anyways, I'm gonna tell you guys a story about my ex from when I was 19. If you guys didn't know, I'm 25, gonna be 26 soon, old as fuck, life's over. Go back to the retirement home. Like, shouldn't you be married with kids? Like, oh my god, don't you have a husband and a family and like a mortgage? Yes, I should, but I don't. Anyway, so I was 19 and um I had started dating this guy. I won't name him, but we'll just call him T. So me and T started dating, and T was a recovering drug addict. Listen, hear me out. Guys, please hear me out. I was like, give him a chance. Guys, he's been clean for 6 months. Give him a chance. I didn't know any better. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know your life story. I think, why should I like not date somebody just because they're struggling? This is like my thought process at the time. I was like, I don't give a fuck. So started dating him. Just side note, don't date a recovering drug addict. Like if they're like you can, but just be prepared that they're probably gonna relapse and they're probably gonna like struggle really hard and it's gonna put a strain on your relationship and et cetera, et cetera. It's a bad idea, especially if you're 19. So, um, moving on. We started dating, and this is very early on. Like, I'm talking maybe like 2 weeks into us dating. He had explained to me that he wouldn't even smoke weed because it, like, genuinely was like a bad gateway for him to getting into the drugs that he was addicted to if he smoked. He just always wanted like more and more and more. So he just didn't do anything, like completely clean from everything, but he did vape. So 2 weeks into us dating, um, he is like, I've met some of his friends, I think, or I don't know if I'd met him at this point, but I'd heard about them and he would hang out with them and his friends like all smoked weed, which cool, whatever, you know. And one day I don't remember if he texted me or if he asked me in person. I'm pretty sure he texted me and was like, what do you think about me trying to smoke weed again? And I'm like, looking back, first of all, homeboy, I've known you less than I've known customers at the Chipotle I work at. I've known you less than like literally a stranger that I met at Target today. Like, I don't know you like that. Why would you ask me? But I get it. I was his girlfriend, so he was asking my opinion on him trying to smoke weed again and just only smoking weed, which is like, okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what I said, is like, I don't really feel like I have the authority to agree or disagree with that decision because I don't know you that well. And it's like, if you think you can handle it, then sure. But if not, then no, don't do it. And so I didn't really give a solid yes or a no. I was just kind of like, if you feel comfortable, then fuck it. If not, then probably not. And he was just kind of like, whatever. I guess he, on his own accord, decided. I don't even know if that's how you say that. Sometimes I say phrases that I'm like, I'll throw it out there, and if no one corrects me, then I'm just gonna keep saying it. But I don't know if that's how you say that. Is it on his own accord? By his own accord? At his own accord? Anyways, you guys know what I'm fucking trying to say. I'm also mewing right now, so he decides all on his own that he's going to smoke weed again with his friends. And I go, okay. Why the hell, after I met his friends, he told me, after I met them and we're alone again, he's telling me that their opinion on me is they don't like me because I told him to smoke weed again. Cut the cameras. What are we talking about? First of all, how are you going to be his friends knowing he's a recovering drug addict and smoke weed around him in the first place? You guys are the ones smoking weed. I'm not smoking weed. I'm not doing anything at all, actually. You guys are smoking weed around him. But it's my fault that he decided to join in? He's a grown-ass man. He decided to smoke. You guys are smoking around him, so you guys are being horrible fucking friends in the first place. But you guys don't like me because I didn't even tell him to smoke weed. I told him to make his own decision. So that was something I was reflecting on recently, because I was like, wait a minute. Why didn't they like me when I didn't do anything? I actually didn't do a single thing. So that was one lovely experience with that relationship that I had. There were many more stories to come, and I'm sure I'll get to talk about them in a later episode if you guys want. And on that note, also, guys, if you want to leave a comment about a topic you want to hear me talk about, or if you want to ask me questions, or if you want to just tell me that I'm cool and you love me and I'm so awesome, you can totally just leave a like or subscribe or whatever. Follow my Instagram. Wow, it's really cool to yap. I get it. If I'm by myself, which I am often, I don't talk out loud. So to hear my own voice, kind of nice to just get all these thoughts out. Anyway, I think that was the last story that I'm gonna tell you guys. I did really enjoy the laying down staring at the ceiling. I think it's very conducive for my thought process. But I'm sure that I've been talking for a long time. My timer stopped 2 different times. So, and my phone could be dead. This could not be recording at all, and I wouldn't even know. Hopefully that didn't happen, but for the very last thing, I have all these ideas for how I want to structure a podcast if somebody's actually on, if I have a guest. And one of the things I wanted to do with the guest is ask them what's something that they would sign off on. in the world that they would be like, yeah, like, I fuck with that, like, I stand by that, like, I'll sign off on it. So I was going to list a few of mine that I've been thinking of recently. First of all, being letting cashiers sit down. Because why are they standing up? Why are you guys forcing cashiers to stand up? I don't think they need to be standing. I actually don't see the benefit of that at all. If my cashier was sitting, I'd be overjoyed for them. I'd be like, your feet not hurting at the end of the day? Like, happy for you, girl. What the hell? So letting cashiers sit down, like, I'll sign off on that. Another one is some kids do need to be on leashes. Unfortunately, I do think that the way your kid acts is very much dependent on the way you raise them and like what you teach them and all the yada yada, like their environment bullshit. Like, I think it is true that if you want your kid to behave, like, you should have raised them to behave, but at the same time, I think there are children that just need to be on leashes because they'll run away. Like, some kids run away, and if there's a little backpack, like, not a leash, if you don't know what I'm talking about, they have like kid leashes where it's like a backpack that they wear. If you want to put your kid in a little backpack and they're on a leash to make sure you don't fucking lose them in case they don't wander off and shit, I'll sign off on that. Another one is silk pillowcases. These are satin, kind of cheap, but I do love them. But for Christmas, I do want some silk pillowcases because it makes a huge difference in your hair, whether you have curly hair or straight hair or whatever. It makes it not frizzy. And I'm thinking I want some silk bed sheets also. So for Christmas, I'm thinking about asking Santa to get that for me. Silk pillowcases, I'll sign off on that. That shit's fire. Another thing I'll sign off on is 3-day work weeks, or less. Like, we don't need to be pushing ourselves to 3 if we don't have to. Like, 2 or 1 or none, I'd sign off on that too. But 3-day work weeks, I think, should be the norm, actually. I think you should... They say that a 4-day weekend is the only true 2-day weekend. And what they mean by that is the day you get off work, or like the day after work, you're tired, you want to relax. And then the day before you go back to work, you're stressed because you have to go back to work the next day. So those 2 days in between are the only days you really have off. So 3-day work week, please. And then the last one for today, I should be able to say whatever I want on Twitter. Especially if everybody else can be racist and homophobic and violent, I should be able to tell somebody to. Because I got, not suspended, but I got, what is it called? My account got locked for a week, so I wasn't allowed to tweet because I typed out KYS to somebody who was being rude to me, and it immediately locked my account, which I think is unfair because everybody else can say mean. Everybody can be mean to me, but I can't be mean back, and I think that that's rude and fucked up. So I should be able to say whatever I want on Twitter. I would sign off on that. And then I guess the last little thing that I'll say before I go is, I don't know if I'll do this every episode, but some manifestations. I'm gonna have some really cool holidays. Halloween and Christmas and stuff is gonna be really fun this year. I'm gonna be getting new equipment so that I can make content the way that I want to and the quality that I want it to be. And I'm gonna be getting the cat that lives outside that I've been feeding. She's going to let me pet her, and she's gonna come inside, and she's gonna be part of the family because I love her and I can't imagine not living here anymore and her not coming with me. So that's gonna be my cat. I already named her. Like, we're already family. She just lives outside right now, but she'll come inside soon. So, hopefully when I get up, this is still recording. And I know that it was a little bumpy ride today. Hopefully I get better at speaking. all by myself for an hour or however long this video is. I'm doing my best. I hope you guys enjoyed having like a really long form video to listen to or watch or whatever. You can just put this on while you're fucking doing the dishes or not even paying attention to it. You could honestly just like turn it on all your devices like while you slept and like mute the volume so you wouldn't even have to listen to it, and you can just like run it continuously where it just like replays over and over and over again if you wanted to. Like that would be fine. Like you could do that, and you could do it on like all your friends' devices or like your family. Like you could just like turn my video on like and just like leave it running like all the time. Like that would be fine if you want, though. Like no biggie if you don't. But thanks for coming along with me on this little ride, guys. I am hoping that this is something I can actually keep up with versus the way that I was trying to make content before. It just is really unsustainable for me, so I hope you guys will accept this new version, and I hope you're looking forward to getting to know more of like me than what you've seen. I'm probably not always gonna be exactly the same. The energy's probably not always gonna be exactly the same. I was really nervous this time. I talk like I work in an office when I'm nervous. It's a coping mechanism, but hopefully I'll be able to chill out a little bit the more I do this and get to talk to you guys a little bit more real. Share my experiences, have a little chat, a little laugh, and yeah, so hope you guys have a great day. Goodbye, 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 thanks, goodbye. Love you, bye.